Tori Mason stared at the official letter in her hand. Her fingers trembled as she reread the words that made no sense. Her mother Ellen had been gone for 6 months now. The grief still felt fresh and raw, and now this. A space station. Her mother had somehow owned a decommissioned research facility orbiting Jupiter. The inheritance papers looked legitimate, complete with government stamps and signatures. Tori ran her hand through her short brown hair. Military habits died hard, even 3 months. After her discharge, 12 years of service had left her with discipline skills and a teenage daughter named Lily, but not much else. Her savings were dwindling, and the apartment they rented was small and expensive. The doorbell rang, interrupting her thoughts. She tucked the letter into her pocket and opened the door. "Hey, Tori." Her neighbor Kate stood there with a plate of cookies, just checking in. "How are you holding up?" "Fine," Tori said automatically, the way she always did. She liked Kate, but wasn't ready to share the bizarre news about her inheritance. Kate glanced past her into the apartment. "Is Lily home from school yet?" "Not yet. Should be soon." Tori took the plate. "Thanks for these." After Kate left, Tori pulled out the letter again and studied the attached photographs. The station looked like a metal ring with spokes connecting to a central hub. According to the documentation, it had been a joint military and scientific research facility before being decommissioned 20 years ago. Front door slammed and Lily stormed in, throwing her backpack on the floor. Her face was tight with anger. "Lily," Tori began. "I hate that school." Lily interrupted, 15 years old, with her mother's determination and her father's dark eyes and stubbornness. "Everyone treats me like the weird new kid," Tori sighed, knowing how hard the move had been on her daughter. After Tori's discharge, they had relocated to be closer to Ellen, only to lose her to cancer weeks later. Now they were stuck in a town where they knew no one. Tori held up the letter. "I got some strange news today. We inherited something from Grandma." Lily looked suspicious. "What?" "A space station." Lily's eyebrows shot up. "You're joking." Tori shook her head. "Apparently it's been in standby mode for decades. It's practically abandoned." Lily's expression shifted from surprise to disdain. "So we inherited space junk." "Great, thanks, Grandma." Tori understood the reaction. The station was worthless, according to the lawyer who had contacted her. The cost of reaching it, much less making it habitable, would be enormous. But something about it nagged at her. Why would her mother have owned such a thing? Ellen had been a botanist with no connections to space research that Tori knew of. That night after Lily went to bed, Tori searched for information about the station. Finding little online, she used her military credentials to access restricted archives. The station Jupiter Research Facility 7 had been officially decommissioned after budget cuts. Its last project was listed as classified. Tori dug deeper, discovering mentions of unusual energy signatures and biological anomalies before the files abruptly ended. Most intriguing was a personnel file showing that Ellen Mason had indeed worked on the station for 3 years before its closure, something that her mother had never mentioned. The next morning, Tori made a decision at breakfast. She faced her daughter. "We should go see it." "See what?" Lily asked, mouthful of cereal. "The station." Lily nearly choked. "You're not serious." "I am," Tori said. The transport costs would take almost all their remaining money, but something told her it was important. Something her mother had kept secret all these years. "That's insane." Lily protested. "We're just going to fly to Jupiter to look at space garbage." "It's our space garbage," Tori corrected. "And I think there's more to this than we're being told." "My mother worked there. I never knew that. She never talked about it." Lily's eyes widened. "Really, Grandma was on a space station for 3 years," Tori confirmed. "And then she left and never mentioned it again." "Doesn't that seem strange to you?" Lily considered this. Her natural curiosity piqued. Despite her attitude, she had inherited her grandmother's love of science. The next week was a flurry of preparations. Tori contacted a transport company that serviced the outer planets. The cost was steep, but the captain, Paula Winters, seemed intrigued by their mission. Not many people heading to abandoned stations. Captain Winters said when they met to arrange passage, her weathered face showed years of space travel. What exactly are you expecting to find there? Just answers, Tori said. Answers about my mother. The launch day arrived cold and clear. Tori and Lily stood on the platform, with their meager luggage, mostly practical items, clothing, tools, emergency supplies. Tori had packed her military gear out of habit, including her sidearm, despite the paperwork headaches it had caused. The transport ship Skyrunner was smaller than Tori expected, a cargo vessel retrofitted for occasional passengers. Captain Winters greeted them at the airlock. Her crew consisted of only 4 people. 2 engineers, a navigator, and a medic. Quarters are tight, but you'll be comfortable enough, Paula said, showing them to a small cabin with bunked beds. The trip to Jupiter takes about 2 weeks with our engines. Settle in as the ship lifted off. Lily pressed her face to the small window, watching Earth shrink beneath them. Her earlier resistance had transformed into excitement. Maybe this won't be so bad, she admitted as stars filled the view. The journey passed in a haze of shipboard routines. Tori spent hours studying the limited information she had about the station, while Lily befriended the navigator Sue, who taught her about stellar cartography. By the time Jupiter loomed large in the viewports, its massive swirling clouds and famous red spot dominating the scene, Tori had learned little more. But she had found one interesting note in her mother's personal effects: a small journal containing cryptic references to the station's garden dome and something called Project Seed Jupiter Research Facility. 7 came into view as they approached, floating dark and silent against the backdrop of the giant planet. It looked abandoned but intact. The station is still maintaining minimal life support, Captain Winters reported, checking her instruments. Surprising after all these years, must have good backup systems. Tori felt a chill of anticipation. As the Skyrunner docked with a gentle shudder, the airlock indicators showed green, meaning the atmosphere inside was breathable. You sure about this? Paula asked as Tori and Lily prepared to board the station. Looks stable, but it's been empty a long time. Could be dangerous. We're sure, Tori said, checking her equipment one last time. Give us 3 days. If you don't hear from us by then, something went wrong. Paula nodded. Well, be here. Good luck. The airlock door opened with a hiss of equalizing pressure. Tori went first, flashlight in hand. Lily followed close behind. The air smelled stale but breathable. The gravity was set slightly lower than Earth standard, making them feel lighter on their feet. Emergency lighting activated as they entered, detecting their presence. The dimly lit corridor stretched before them, covered in dust. Welcome to our inheritance, Tori said, her voice echoing in the empty space. Lily looked around, her expression unreadable. This is so weird, Mom. Why would Grandma keep this secret from everyone? That Tori thought is exactly what I want to find out. The first day on the station passed in careful exploration. Tori used her military training, moving methodically through each section, checking for hazards and mapping their route. The main corridors circled the outer ring with narrower passages, connecting to the central hub like spokes on a wheel. Lily stayed close, observing everything with intense curiosity. The teenager ran her fingers over dusty control panels and peered through viewports at the stars and Jupiter beyond. They found the crew quarters first, small cabins with personal effects still inside, as if the occupants had left in a hurry. This is creepy, Lily whispered, picking up a photo frame with a faded image inside. They just abandoned everything. Not abandoned, Tori corrected. Evacuated. She pointed to the emergency protocols visible on a wall display. Something happened here. Something sudden. The mess hall and recreation areas were similarly frozen in time. Game pieces remained on tables. Books lay open on couches. Their footprints left trails in the thick dust as they passed through. Tori accessed a computer terminal using her military override codes. The system hummed to life screens glowing with the station's layout. Most systems are in standby, she noted. The station has been conserving power for decades. Look at this, the garden dome is still active. Minimal life support, but it's running. Lily leaned over her shoulder, pointing at the screen. What's that symbol mean? Tori frowned. Restricted area. It needs special clearance by evening. They had explored only a quarter of the station, finding nothing that explained why Ellen Mason would have owned it. They set up camp in what had been the officers' lounge. The furniture was still comfortable, Despite years of disuse, Tori activated the heating system and they ate a simple meal from their supplies. While Lily slept, Tori continued searching through computer records. Most files were corrupted or deleted, but she found personnel logs showing her mother had been head botanist on the station. The next morning they continued their exploration, reaching the medical bay and science labs. The equipment was outdated, but impressive for its time. Lily examined a microscope. This stuff must have cost billions. Why would they just leave? The records say there was an emergency evacuation. Tori said most equipment was supposed to be retrieved later. But something changed. Plans were canceled. The station was officially abandoned. They moved deeper into the station, reaching the central hub, a massive circular chamber with workstations arranged around a central column. Screens covered the walls, once displaying data from various experiments. "Mom, look at this," Lily called from a console. Something was accessing the system recently. Tori hurried over. The screen showed access logs, the most recent from just 3 months ago, right after her mother's death. "Someone was here," Tori whispered. "Who would come to an abandoned station?" "The access code," Lily pointed out. "It's Grandma's ID." Tori stared. At the screen, her mother had remotely accessed the station systems. She had monitored something, checked status reports, given commands. Her last command initiated a wake sequence for something called Seed Vault, the Garden Dome. Tori said suddenly, "We need to find the Garden Dome." They located it on the other side of the hub, a massive hemisphere of reinforced glass currently shuttered with metal plates. Tori found the control panel and entered her mother's access code. The shutters retracted, slowly revealing the dome behind the glass. Lily gasped. Inside was the dead, abandoned garden they expected, but a thriving ecosystem. Trees and plants flourished under artificial lighting. Water flowed through irrigation channels. The air inside looked misty and warm. "How is this possible?" Lily asked. "Everything else is abandoned, but this is alive." Tori checked the environmental controls. The dome had its own power source separate from the main station. Its systems had continued running autonomously for 20 years. The door to the dome required another access code. Tori tried her mother's ID again. The door remained locked. "Try your birthday," Lily suggested. Tori entered her birth date. Nothing happened. "Try mine." Tori typed in Lily's birthday. The door hissed and slid open. Warm, humid air washed over them, carrying the scent of earth and growing things. Inside the dome was even more impressive. Plants from Earth grew alongside species Tori had never seen before. Trees with blue leaves. Flowers that seemed to glow, vines that moved subtly as if breathing. In the center of the dome stood a structure unlike anything else on the station. A hexagonal building made of a material that wasn't metal or plastic, but something that seemed to shift colors as they approached. "It looked alien. This isn't human technology," Tori said quietly, her military training raising alarms. The station was supposed to be for standard research, not alien tech. They approached the hexagonal structure. No obvious door was visible. The surface rippled as they drew near. Then a section melted away, creating an entrance. "Should we go in?" Lily asked, voice hushed. Tori hesitated, considering the risks, but they had come too far to turn back. Slowly, she stepped through the opening. Lily followed. Inside was a single room bathed in soft blue light. In the center floated a container made of the same shifting material as the walls. Inside, suspended in clear liquid, were hundreds of small metallic objects, each about the size of a grape with swirling patterns on their surfaces. Tori approached cautiously. The objects pulsed with faint light, their patterns changing slowly. "What are they?" Lily whispered. "Seeds," Tori said, though she wasn't sure how. She knew a console near the container. Activated as they approached, text appeared on the screen. A message waited there. Addressed to Tori, "My dearest daughter, if you're reading this, then I am gone, and you have found your inheritance. I hope you brought Lily with you. The seeds respond to both your genetic signatures. There is so much I never told you. I couldn't, it wasn't safe. But now you need to know the truth about my work, the truth about these seeds. 20 years ago, we discovered something in Jupiter's orbit. Not a moon or asteroid, but a vessel A ship containing the last remains of a species called the Zintari. Their physical forms were dying, but they had preserved their essence, their consciousness in these seed vessels. They chose me as guardian. I don't know why, but we formed a connection. They shared knowledge with me, showed me wonders and terrors. The universe is vast, Tory and not always kind. The Zintari fled from enemies that had destroyed their homeworld. They came here seeking sanctuary. The military wanted to study them, experiment on them. I couldn't allow that, so I helped them hide, created the sanctuary. Within the dome, they could survive in stasis until the right time. That time is now. The seeds have begun to awaken. They need new guardians. The Zintari chose me. But now they have chosen you and Lily. I have felt it in our connections. Place your hands on the container. Let them know you. Follow their guidance. They have much to teach us. Their knowledge could save humanity from the same fate they suffered. I'm sorry for the secrets, for the burden I now place on you, but I know you are strong enough to bear it. You always were my brave girl. With all my love. Mom. Tori read the message twice, her hands shaking. The implications were overwhelming. Alien refugees, hidden for decades, and now her responsibility. Her mother had kept this secret her entire life. Mom. Lily said, her voice strange. Look, the seeds were glowing brighter, pulsing in unison, their patterns swirling faster. The liquid they floated in began to shimmer with energy. Lily reached out toward the container weight. Tori began, but something told her this was right. This was what they had come for. Together, mother and daughter placed their hands on the smooth surface of the container. The seeds responded. Immediately, their light intensified. The patterns connected, forming complex geometric shapes that seemed to extend beyond the container into the air around them. And then they heard it. A voice. Not in their ears, but in their minds. Guardians, the voice said, we have waited so long. The first contact had begun. Captain Paula Winters stared at them, her weathered face showing disbelief. The 4 crew members of the Skyrunner stood behind her, equally stunned. Let me get this straight, Paula said. You found alien consciousness stored in seed form on this station. They merged with you temporarily to help you fight off an alien scout ship. And now you need to warn Earth about an incoming invasion fleet that pretty much covers it. Tori confirmed. She knew how it sounded. The Zintari within her had withdrawn to a passive state, allowing her full control of her body. But their presence remained a warm glow in her mind. Ready to assist if needed, Lily stood beside her. The young Zintari scientists similarly respectful of her autonomy. Paula looked at her crew, then back to Tori and Lily. For what it's worth, our sensors did detect an unknown craft near the station, and your weapons definitely fired. Something happened out there. The ship's engineer, Becky, stepped forward. Those energy readings weren't human tech. Captain, I've never seen anything like them. Paula sighed, rubbing her temples. Alien refugees hiding on an abandoned station. Sounds like something from a vid drama. But you too. She gestured at Tori and Lily. You definitely changed something about you. Is different. The Zintari can prove themselves, Tori said. She closed her eyes, allowing the warrior consciousness to come forward slightly. Her body straightened. Her eyes, when she opened them, had a subtle glow. Paula stepped back, startled. Greetings, Captain. A voice spoke using Taurus vocal cords but with harmonic overtones. We are the Zintari. We mean no harm to your species. We seek to help prepare defenses against our common enemy. Lily stepped forward, her eyes similarly illuminated. The young scientists within her adding, we can share technology knowledge to help Earth prepare. The hunters will not stop until all advanced life in this system is eliminated. Paula stared. When you say prepare, what exactly do you mean? Earth has defenses, military space, force. The Zintari within Tori shook her head. Not sufficient. The hunters' technology is centuries beyond yours. Their weapons can destabilize matter at the quantum level. Their ships can absorb most energy weapons. They destroyed our civilization in days. Your defenses would last hours. The ship medic Maya spoke up. If these hunters are so advanced, why would they see us as a threat? Earth barely has interplanetary travel, not threat competition, the Zintari explained. Through Lily, the hunters eliminate all species with potential to one day challenge them. They see the universe as a zero-sum game. Resources are finite. Advanced civilizations compete for them. Therefore, all potential competitors must be eliminated before they can become actual threats. Tori felt the Zintari warriors recede, allowing her to speak again. We need to get this information to Earth leadership military first, then global governments. The ship's navigator. Sue looked skeptical. Even if everything you're saying is true, who would believe you? Alien invasion sounds like a hoax or mass hysteria. The Zintari can demonstrate their knowledge. Tori said, they can improve your ship's systems right now. Show capabilities beyond current human technology. That should convince the right people. Paula considered this. Her ship was her pride and joy, but also her livelihood. Any improvements would benefit her crew. What kind of improvements? She asked cautiously. Lily smiled. The Zintari scientists within her eager to demonstrate propulsion systems. For one, we could increase your efficiency by at least 40%. Without compromising safety. Propulsion systems, Becky said, suddenly interested. 40%. That's impossible. Not with the right reconfiguration, Lily said. Her voice took on a more technical tone as the Zintari scientists shared knowledge. The deuterium containment field can be modified to allow greater energy extraction without increasing radiation. The thrust vectors can be realigned for better acceleration. Curves. Becky's eyes widened. How do you know that those are experimental theories, not even in production? The engineer and Lily fell into rapid technical discussion, Becky looking increasingly amazed. Paula turned to Tori. You really believe this invasion is coming? Saw it through the Zintari memories, Tori said. Their world was beautiful. Advanced, peaceful. They had no warning. The hunters struck without provocation, without communication. Just appeared and started destroying everything. And now they're coming here. Yes, the scout will report back. Our best guess is we have months, not years. The original timeline was accelerated when we revealed ourselves. Paula nodded slowly, making a decision. Okay, we need to get you back to Earth. To people who can actually do something. With this information, I have contacts in Earth Force Command. Not top level, but people who can get a message up the chain. Thank you. Tori said. One condition. Paula held up a finger. Those improvements to my ship, I want them. Lily grinned from where she stood with Becky. Already working on it. The Zintari are excited to help. Actually, Becky has some great ideas too. They say humans have an interesting approach to engineering. Creative. Over the next 2 days, the Skyrunner underwent a transformation. Lily and Becky worked non-stop, guided by the Zintari scientists. Systems were reconfigured, energy pathways optimized. The engines now hummed with new power. Meanwhile, Tori, with help from the warriors, developed a presentation for Earth leadership. Everything they knew about the hunters. Their capabilities, tactics, weaknesses. The Zintari had fought them, lost to them, but learned from the experience. Sue approached Tori on the second day. The navigator looked troubled. These Zintari, she began. How do we know they aren't the real threat? What if they're manipulating you? The Zintari within Tori stirred, concerned but not offended. They had expected such questions. They share my mind. Tori explained, I would know if they were lying. They can't hide their true intentions from me, but what if they want something else? Using this invasion story to get access to Earth, Tori shook her head, understanding the concern. Feel free to remain skeptical, but when we reach Earth, the evidence will be clear. The hunters are real, Sue. The Zintari showed me their memories, their world burning, their people dying. No one could fake that level of detail, that level of grief. Sue nodded, not entirely convinced, but willing to reserve judgment. By the time they were ready to depart, the Skyrunner had been transformed. Becky claimed the ship was now at least 30 years ahead of current technology. The engines produced more power while using less fuel. The life support was more efficient. The sensors had double the range. Paula inspected everything with growing amazement. "This is incredible," she admitted. "The improvements alone are evidence something extraordinary has happened." The journey back to Earth would take significantly less time with the enhanced engines. Lily estimated 9 days instead of 2 weeks. The Zintari had wanted to improve things further but were careful not to push the materials beyond their structural limits as they prepared to leave. Tori took a final look at the station. "Will the rest of the Zintari stay here?" she asked the warriors within. "For now," they replied. "The garden dome is secure. The hunters will likely focus on following our ship. Those of us within you and Lily are enough to begin preparations. The others will remain dormant until safe transport can be arranged." The Skyrunner detached from the station and accelerated away. The engines glowed with new energy as they pushed toward Earth during the journey. Tori and Lily spent hours sharing information with Paula's crew, the Zintari within them, carefully revealing knowledge in manageable amounts, being careful not to overwhelm the humans with too much too quickly. Lily thrived with her new companions. The young Zintari scientists were curious, playful, eager to learn about human culture while sharing their own. They taught her mathematical concepts beyond current human understanding, showed her art forms that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. The warriors within Tori were more reserved, focused on the coming conflict, but they, too, shared freely. Strategic thinking. Combat techniques developed over thousands of years. Advanced understanding of physics and how it could be applied in battle. Captain Winters spent hours each day drafting messages to her Earth Force contacts, trying to find ways to explain the situation without sounding delusional. 3 days into the return journey, their enhanced sensors detected something. Following them, a small craft. Paula confirmed, checking the readings. Dark, not reflecting light. Moving. Fast. Another scout. Tori asked the warriors. Likely they responded. "The first would have reported our presence. This one follows to track us to your population centers. Can the Skyrunner outrun it?" Tori asked Paula. The captain shook her head. "Not even. With our improvements, that thing is fast and our weapons are minimal. Not like the station." Tori felt the warriors rise within her mind, their knowledge flowing forward. Tactics options. "We need to hide," they suggested. Hide. How? Tori asked. "There is nothing out here." "Not nothing." "Mars." The warrior Zintari directed. Look. Tori studied the navigation chart. Mars was relatively close to their current trajectory. Its moons, Phobos and Deimos, could provide cover. Paula, Tori said. "Change course for Mars. We need to use the moons for cover. The scout is tracking our energy signature. We might lose it among the electromagnetic disturbances around Phobos." Paula nodded to Sue, who immediately adjusted their course. The Skyrunner veered toward the red planet. The scout adjusted its course following. They accelerated, pushing the new engines to their limits. Mars grew larger in the viewports. Its rusty surface and thin atmosphere becoming visible were not going to make it. Becky warned from engineering. "The scout is gaining." The modified shuttle dropped silently through Earth's atmosphere. The Zintari guided Taurus hands on the controls, teaching her to use the stealth technology they had added. Their entry path avoided major population centers and military tracking stations. Lily monitored the sensors carefully, the young scientist within her enhancing her understanding of the data. Earth looked peaceful from above, unaware of the threat approaching. A threat only they knew about. "We should be meeting resistance." The Zintari warriors commented in Taurus mind. "Your defense systems should have detected us by now." "They're right." Tori realized. Their approach was deliberately stealthy, but Earth's defense grid should have picked up something. The lack of response was concerning. Paulus contact had arranged for them to land at a remote airfield in Nevada, a small military research facility with limited personnel. Those who needed to know had been briefed that a special craft was incoming, but something felt wrong. The airfield came into view, isolated in the desert, a single runway. A few buildings, no visible activity. "I don't like this," Tori said. The warriors within agreed. Something was off. Protocol. Should we abort? Lily asked the Zintari can find another landing site. Too late. Tori nodded toward the sensor display. 2 aircraft had appeared behind them. Fast military interceptors were being painted by targeting systems the warriors warned. They see us, despite the stealth. Tori opened communications. Earth Defense Force craft. This is Victoria Mason, former EDF major, requesting safe passage authorization code Sierra Echo. 497 static answered. Then a clipped voice. This is Eagle 1. Unidentified craft, you have entered restricted airspace without clearance. Land immediately, at the designated coordinates, or we will open fire. They don't know about us. Tori realized Paula's message never got through. Or worse, was intercepted. The warriors offered tactical options, evasion paths, countermeasures. But Tori shook her head. They'd come to warn Earth, not start a conflict. We're landing, Tori told Lily. Following their coordinates, the shuttle touched down at the edge of the airfield. The interceptors circled overhead. As the engines powered down, military vehicles approached, armed. Soldiers surrounded the shuttle. Well, this isn't the welcome I expected, Lily said nervously. The Zintari remained calm, analyzing, conserving energy, waiting. We didn't come this far to fail. Now they reminded Tori. They exited the shuttle, hands raised. The desert heat hit them immediately. The soldiers maintained their distance, weapons raised. A woman in an officer's uniform stepped forward. Colonel Diane Fletcher, according to her nameplate. Her expression was stone. Victoria Mason. She said, her voice flat. And this must be Lily Mason. We received word you might be attempting to land unauthorized in an unregistered craft. Tori kept her voice steady. I need to speak with General Harris. It's urgent matter of planetary security. Colonel Fletcher raised an eyebrow. Planetary security. That sounds serious. She gestured to her soldiers. Take them to the interview room. Search the craft. The soldiers moved forward, surrounding them. They were escorted to a small concrete building and separated. Tori felt the warriors tense within her, but they remained passive, observing. Understanding this was a necessary step. The interview room was bare. A metal table, 2 chairs. A mirror that was obviously one way. Tori sat and waited. The Zintari warriors scanned the room, noting cameras, sensors, defensive capabilities. Colonel Fletcher entered 30 minutes later. A folder in her hand. She sat across from Tori. So Major Mason, she began. You disappeared from Earth 3 weeks ago on an unauthorized trip to Jupiter, then returned in an unregistered craft with unknown technology. Care to explain? Him carrying information vital to Earth security. Tori said. There is an alien force approaching our system. Hostile intent to eliminate humanity. I need to speak with General Harris immediately. Fletcher stared at her for a long moment. So aliens, hostile aliens. She made a note in her folder. And you know this, how exactly? Tori measured her response, knowing how it would sound. I made contact with a different alien species. On the Jupiter station, refugees, the Zintari. They warned me about the hunters, the hostile force. They shared information about defenses. I see, Fletcher said, her tone making it clear she didn't believe a word. Any proof of these friendly aliens? Tori met her gaze directly. Carrying several of them inside me. A symbiotic relationship. Temporary. They can speak to you directly if you'll allow it. Fletcher's hand moved to her sidearm. I'm going to need you to explain that statement. Major Tori raised. Her hand slowly. The Zintari can demonstrate, but I need assurances we won't be harmed. We came to help. Before Fletcher could respond, the door opened. A man entered, tall, gray-haired, authoritative General William Harris, commander of Earth Defense Force. Tori recognized him from her military service. General Tori acknowledged. Harris dismissed Fletcher, who left reluctantly. He sat across from Tori, studying her. Captain Winters managed to get a message through. He said finally, through back channels. Quite a story. Alien refugees, impending invasion. Mind-sharing aliens. He leaned forward. Normally, it'd have you in psychiatric evaluation. But Paula Winters is not known for flights of fancy, and her ship suddenly shows advanced technology. Our scientists can't explain. So I'm listening. Relief washed through Tori. The Zintari stirred within, eager to make contact. May I demonstrate? Tori asked. Harris nodded cautiously. Tori closed her eyes, allowing the warrior consciousness to emerge. The transition was subtle. Her posture straightened. Her eyes, when she opened them, had that characteristic glow. Greetings, General Harris, the Zintari spoke, using Taurus voice but with added harmonics. We are the Zintari, last survivors of a civilization destroyed by the Hunters. We seek to help humanity avoid our fate. Harris showed remarkable composure, only a slight widening of his eyes betraying surprise. You are inside her mind, he asked. We share this form temporarily, the Zintari explained. It is a symbiosis, not control. We cannot take action without consent. What are these hunters you mention? The warriors projected images onto the wall using technology they had integrated with Taurus' nervous system. Dark ships, world destruction, weapons beyond human understanding. Harris watched in silence. They will arrive within months, the Zintari continued. Your current defenses are insufficient, but with our knowledge you can prepare. The general stood pacing the small room. This is beyond my authority alone. But I believe you, which means we have work to do. Things moved quickly after that. Lily was brought in, reunited with her mother. The young scientists within her eager to share what they knew. Harris arranged secure transport to the EDF headquarters, a bunker complex beneath the Rocky Mountains there. The highest levels of Earth leadership gathered to hear what the Zintari had to share. Generals, admirals, government officials, scientists. They listened in stunned silence as the Zintari shared memories of their fallen civilization. Showed the Hunters' approach demonstrated advanced technology beyond human understanding. Some were skeptical, others frightened, a few hostile. But the evidence was compelling. The modified shuttle alone contained technology that Earth scientists confirmed was centuries beyond current capabilities. The Zintari are willing to share knowledge, the warrior spoke through Tori Defense's weapons communications. But we must act quickly. The Hunters' approach strategy emerged. Earth would prepare in secret, using Zintari knowledge to enhance existing defense systems, building new weapons platforms, establishing early warning networks. The moon colony would become a forward defense post. Lily and her Zintari scientists worked with the top minds on Earth, sharing mathematical concepts, new understanding of physics, energy manipulation, materials, science knowledge that would have taken humanity centuries to discover on its own. The warriors within Tori trained elite military units, new tactics, enhancements to existing weapons, how to fight enemies with superior technology. The warriors had lost their world, but learned valuable lessons in the process. Week by week, Earth transformed. Secret facilities produced technologies that, months earlier, would have seemed impossible. Orbital platforms were upgraded, weapons that could affect quantum states, shields that could absorb massive energy attacks. The Zintari within Tori and Lily remained respectful partners, never controlling, always teaching, always preparing. But as the preparations advanced, they grew concerned. The Hunters will detect these activities, they warned. They will accelerate their approach. Their prediction proved accurate. 3 months after Tori and Lily returned to Earth, long-range sensors detected multiple objects entering the solar system, dark ships moving at impossible speeds. The Hunter fleet had arrived far earlier than expected. Earth was not fully prepared, but more prepared than they would have been. Without the Zintari, General Harris stood in the command center as alerts sounded around them. The wall screens showed the approaching fleet, dozens of ships of various sizes, but all with the same black light-absorbing material. How long, he asked Tori, checked the enhanced sensor readings, the Zintari warriors calculating within her mind. Hours. They will reach lunar orbit in approximately 10 hours. Harris nodded. Are we ready? Not completely, Tori admitted. But we have surprises they won't expect. The Zintari have never seen humans fight. They don't know what we're capable of. The general smiled grimly. Time to show them then. The Earth Defense Fleet moved into position, ships enhanced with Zintari technology, crews trained by the warrior consciousness. Within Tori, the orbital platforms powered up weapons charged. The moon base activated its new defense grid. The voice in their minds was gentle but alien, somehow musical and layered, as if many beings spoke as one. Tori and Lily stood frozen, their hands still pressed against the container. "We are the Zintari," the voice continued. "Last survivors of a world, now gone. Your mother, Ellen, protected us while we healed and waited. Now we sense the danger approaches. Your world will soon face what destroyed ours." Images flowed into their minds, a beautiful world, with crystal cities and soaring spires. Then darkness, descending ships like black stars blotting out the sun. Weapons that tore reality itself. Energy beams that reduced cities to ash. A civilization falling in days. They saw the survivors fleeing across space, pursued, hunted, nearly extinct until they reached our solar system, finding Ellen Mason working alone in the station garden. One human who showed compassion, who agreed to help. The vision faded. Tori gasped, pulling her hand away. Lily remained connected, her eyes wide and unfocused. Lily, Tori, touched her daughter's shoulder. "Okay, Mom," Lily said softly. "They are showing me things. They're so beautiful, Mom. So sad, but so beautiful." The seeds pulsed in rhythm, almost like heartbeats. "We cannot remain dormant longer," the voice explained. "The hunters have found this system. Their scouts approach. They seek all advanced life to eliminate competition. Their ships will reach Earth within 1 year. Why show us this?" Tori asked. "What can we do against something that destroyed your entire civilization?" "Offer partnership," the Zintari replied. "We have knowledge technology that could help defend your world. But we need physical form. To guide. To teach. We cannot remain as seeds." The container hummed. The liquid inside began to drain. The seeds floated. "In formation like a constellation, we propose symbiosis," the voice continued. "Not possession, but cooperation. We would share your forms temporarily. To work together, to prepare your world. Has technology. We can adapt weapons. We can enhance your species. Has courage, creativity that our enemies do not expect." Tori felt a chill. "What exactly are you asking?" "For permission," the Zintari answered. "We would never force connection. That is the way of the hunters, not our way. Ellen Mason allowed temporary connection, so we could communicate but never full symbiosis. That must be freely given." Lily looked at her mother, her eyes bright with excitement. "They want to help us, Mom. They can show us how to defend." Earth, Tori frowned. This was too much too fast. Aliens warning, of invasion offering to share human bodies. What if they were lying? What if this was some kind of trick? The Zintari seemed to sense her doubt. The seeds dimmed slightly. "We understand caution," the voice said. "We offer proof. 1 seed separated from the others." It floated to the edge of the container, its surface rippling. "This one will show you the smallest connection. Only knowledge. No control. You will see." "The truth?" Tori hesitated, then nodded. The seed floated through the container wall impossibly, passing through solid matter. It hovered before her. "May I?" the voice asked. Tori swallowed. "Yes." The seed touched her forehead. Light bloomed behind her eyes. And then knowledge, pure information flowing into her mind. Star maps, ship designs, weapon systems, tactical assessments, detection networks, warning systems. She saw the hunters' fleet moving through distant space. Massive ships with technology beyond human understanding. She saw their path, their time frame, their weapons. Most importantly, she saw the Zintari plan, how Earth might be defended, how humanity might survive. The seed withdrew. Tori staggered. Lily caught her arm. "Mom, Are you okay? Tori blinked, trying to process what she had seen. They are telling the truth. The hunters are coming. Humanity has no defense against them, not yet. But with the Zintari knowledge, we might have a chance. The seeds pulsed with renewed energy. We offer this knowledge freely. The Zintari said, whether you accept symbiosis or not, but there is much more we could teach. If you allow closer connection. Tori looked at her daughter. What do you think? Lily didn't hesitate. I want to help them. Mom, they survived when everyone tried to destroy them. They came all this way. They trusted Grandma. Now they trust us. The space station suddenly shuddered. Warning lights flashed. The Zintari seeds flared with alarm. We are detected, the voice said urgently. A hunter scout has found this station. They sense our energy signature. Tori accessed a nearby console. External sensors showed a ship approaching, not human design. Sleek and black, absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Exactly like the ships in the vision. How long do we have? Tori asked. Minutes, the Zintari replied. The scout will investigate. If it confirms our presence, it will summon the fleet ahead of schedule. Your world is not ready. Tori made her decision. If we accept your symbiosis, can we fight this scout? Some of us were warriors, the voice answered. We retain those skills, but your body would be at risk. The hunters are formidable. I'm a soldier, Tori said. It's my job to take risks. The container opened completely. The seeds rose into the air surrounding Tori and Lily. This union must be willing on both sides, the Zintari explained. Once begun, it can be ended only by mutual consent. I accept, Tori said. Me too, Lily added. 3 seeds approached Tori, hovering around her. The others circled Lily. Their surfaces rippled patterns flowing faster. The seeds transformed, becoming tendrils of light and energy. They touched Tori's skin, sinking beneath the surface. The sensation was strange, not painful but intense. Knowledge, memories, skills flowed into her mind. She felt the presence of others, distinct personalities, respectful, grateful, determined. Tori Mason, the Zintari voice, now spoke from within her mind. We are joined. May we access your physical control. We will teach you to fight as we once did. Yes, Tori agreed. Her body tingled. Energy coursed through her muscles. Her senses sharpened. She could see details she never noticed before, hear the subtle workings of the station around them, even smell the chemical composition of the air across from her. Lily was undergoing a similar transformation. Her eyes now had a subtle glow. Her movements became more graceful, precise. They are different with me, Lily said, her voice containing new harmonics. They say I'm too young for warrior connection. They are scientists, teachers. They want to show me how to use the station systems. The station shook again, more violently. The scout approaches. The Zintari within Tori warned, we must prepare. The station's weapons are minimal, but we can enhance them with our knowledge. Together they rushed from the garden dome. Through the shared connection, Tori knew exactly where to go. The weapons control center in the upper ring. As they ran, Tori felt her body moving with enhanced speed and precision. The Zintari warriors had fought in many battles. Their muscle memory now guided her. Her military training combined with their ancient experience. Lily split off, heading for the command center. I can monitor the scout from there, she called the Zintari. Know how to reactivate the sensors. Be careful, Tori called back. They will not harm your child, the voice within assured. The young ones are paired with her protective teaching, not controlling. Tori reached the weapons control center. Dust-covered consoles sprang to life at her touch. Through Zintari knowledge, she activated systems that had been dormant for decades. The weapons are primitive by our standards, the voice commented, but we can improve them. Tori's hands moved across the controls, making adjustments. Her mind understanding technologies she had never studied. The station's defensive grid powered up laser arrays designed for clearing. Space debris could be repurposed as weapons. Through the viewport, she saw the scout ship now visible against Jupiter's clouds, a dark shape moving with precision toward the station. Its surface seemed to absorb light. No windows, no visible propulsion. Just smooth black material, like solidified Shadow Mom Lily's voice came through the comm system. They are scanning us. I can see their sensor beams. The Zintari are helping me mask our life signs, but the scout knows something is here. Tori focused on the weapons. The Zintari knowledge guided her as she targeted the approaching vessel. We will have one chance, the voice said. The scout is not expecting resistance. If we can damage its sensors, it may retreat to report rather than continuing investigation. That would give us time. How much damage can we do with these weapons, Tori asked. Not enough to destroy it, but enough to hurt it. The Zintari responded. Tori watched as the scout drew closer. Her finger hovered over the firing control. The enhanced targeting system locked onto what the Zintari identified as the scout sensor array. The scout ship suddenly accelerated. Its shape rippled, changing form. Weapons emerged from its smooth surface. It has detected us, the Zintari warned. It comes to investigate. Directly, Tori pressed the firing control. The station's lasers fired beams of concentrated energy striking the scout ship, dead center on its sensor array. The scout shuddered. Dark material flowed across its surface, repairing the damage. But it slowed. Its approach again. The Zintari urged. Tori fired a second volley. The lasers struck the same spot. The scout ship veered away, then it fired back brace. Tori shouted into the comm energy beams lanced from the scout ship striking the station. The structure shook. Alarms blared damage to sectors 7 and 12. Lily's voice reported, "We lost part of the outer ring, but the central hub is holding. The Zintari are rerouting power to shields. Tori hadn't known the station had shields experimental technology. The voice explained, never deployed. Your mother helped install them with our guidance. The shields flared visible as the scout fired again. The energy dispersed around the station instead of penetrating. The scout circled, preparing another attack.